life, there are going to be really big moments that are going to challenge you, that you could get a broken heart. You could have, it's usually happens with loss. Like for my situation, it would be like having long-term relationship, and then one day it's like, you're separating, and then you have to deal with, whether you should get back together or not. But you never you never show any pettiness. Like you don't say like, forget you, I'm gonna like, I don't want to see you again and I'm done with you. You support them because when you're in a relationship, you love who you're with, that you care about them. So of course you're not going to be able to just turn off your feelings and say, you know what, like, like I'm done with you because you want to do this, or, these things happen and then you could get hurt. Yeah, of course. So when you get hurt, then you feel the hurt. Like you feel, you could feel emotional. You could, your feelings could get hurt. But if your feelings keep getting hurt, like, so say if you try to re-enter the dating scene, or you have interest in certain people, and then maybe it doesn't work out because you waited too long, or there's certain things that you did and they didn't tell you, and then you don't know, so you can't really fix those things or change the way you do things, because maybe that's not who you are. Sometimes we talk to other people and we could show too much interest, too much attention. We could do a lot of things, but that's not who we really are. This is because we have interest in them and they make us feel good, and then we somehow give them too much attention. We show too much interest, but that's not who we really are. So they're already judging us based on what they're experiencing with us, but they don't know like us. They don't truly know us, like how we operate in our daily life, and they don't know our whole history. So they could be judging us, thinking that this is how we are, this is how we act, and that they don't want this in their life, in their future. It's like they're not giving you a chance to prove who you are, because they're already judging you. And that's the problem with judging people. That when people judge people, they don't want to be judged, but then they judge. They don't want people to criticize them, but they criticize people. They do things because of deflecting, projecting. It's the things that they feel inside. They don't want people to talk behind their backs, but they talked daily about other people behind their backs. They don't want people to disrespect them, but they disrespect people. They don't want people to be mean to them, but they're mean to people. So these are people that deflect. They call it deflection, projection. Sometimes people project negativity. They might say, you're negative. You are this, you're this or that or that. What they're telling you is that these are things that they're thinking inside, and that they have that are called unresolved issues. Like they don't trust, they don't believe, they doubt, they overthink, they assume. When people start to have those problems that continue on, that it's obvious that they lack confidence. And confidence is very important, because you have strong confidence, that means you have good self-esteem, that you'll feel good about yourself, that you'll be confident in the way you look, even though that maybe you could be better, you could be taller, you could be more, say, in shape, you could have other type of features. Like there's things that you want, but you don't need them, that you could appreciate who you are and feel, happy with the life that you're living and with who you are because of the way you are. So if you're lacking in, say, the physical category, that you could pick up the slack in more of how you treat people, how you think mentally, and how you love with your heart. That you could be smart, you could be strategic. You could have, certain skills or gifts or talents that could offset like when you're lacking in the physical category. Or you could be somebody that has everything in the physical category and be confident in everything about your looks, the way you look, and just everything. You could be that perfect person in the eyes of most people, but you could have a bad attitude. You could, treat people bad and be in terrible moods, be negative. There's a lot of things that you could do to make yourself appear unattractive. Like, you could look good, that if you act a certain way that you could turn off people and then they're not going to like you and that it's unattractive to them. You can you could say things like bluntly. You could be sitting at dinner and say certain things, and you could be talking too much about things that they don't like. Like, we don't really know that other person, so sometimes it's good to listen, kind of get to know them, and then you could respond in a way that you could, like, having respect and manners, being polite, all that comes with the way that we grow up. And it's not always a reflection of our parents, because sometimes our parents could be totally different from us, and we choose the way we treat people, that we set standards for ourselves. And that goes along like with that, you naturally open doors for people. For guys like myself, you open doors. For women, you pull their chair, you open doors for people, you thank people, you say good morning. It's like these things that are natural, and like you don't really have to think about doing it because that's who you are. That you can be nice. But nice can go against us if we're too nice. If we're always too nice and that we'll do anything and then we don't say no. That other person knows that we'll do anything for them. So when they know that we will do anything, then sometimes they may take advantage. They may take advantage of the fact that you will do anything for them, because they know that they can manipulate you. And then sometimes they could use emotional manipulation. So when someone does like silent treatment, if you lack confidence in yourself, that it could torture you, because they're basically using punishment as a way to dictate on how you should treat them. And if you say certain things, you go out of line, then they're going to emotionally manipulate you by ignoring you and by acting like you don't exist. And if they know that you have a lot of feelings for them and that you care for them, so imagine if you neglect them. It's like a pet, like a dog. Like if your dog comes up to you and you just push it away, you ignore your dog, you don't pet it, and you don't walk your dog, and you don't feed your dog, and you do all these things, then you're going to hurt your dog. You're going to hurt your pet, because they have so much affection for you, because they love you, that they are naturally affectionate. So if you ignore your pet, you neglect them because you feel like, I can do this, and I'm going to do it because I didn't like the way you were acting on the walk. I didn't like what you were doing. I don't like that you're barking, so I'm going to ignore you. I'm not going to talk to you. I'm not going to pet you. I'm going to lock my room. You can't be around me. Then you're going to torture your pet, and you're going to change the way that they feel, because they're affectionate. It goes the same for people. So when you lack confidence in your life, like, and you don't have that self-confidence, that you'll start to feel down. When things don't go your way, you'll feel down. That you'll need certainty in your life. You need guarantees. You won't do things without knowing the outcome. So how could you live I say a fun and exciting life if you need to know what happens every step of the way. That you can't live that type of life, because if you expect